Hi everybody, this video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here's her story. Dear Ollie, I love your YouTube channel. You brought so much light into many lives, I'm sure, including mine. I'm a 50-year-old woman with one daughter and married to what I think is a narc husband. He may not have all the traits. I think I was in denial. I seem to have hid his behavior towards me under the carpet. A brief history. We are married 24 years. All was good except he never found time for me in all the years I was raising our daughter. He goes out with the boys 3 times a week. Does nothing around the house. He claims he brings money home and I need to shut the F up. There would be other women who would love to have him if I don't. When we were first married, I helped him build the company of his dreams. He then kicked me out and told me he found 2 perfect women to run it. I was so pissed, but I accepted it. He still claims I did nothing but be a noose around his neck. If it wasn't for me, his company and the people in it wouldn't be there where they are right now. My family knows this and his family doesn't. They only acknowledge him for the success. Although I was pissed, it gave me valuable time to spend with my teenage daughter. No regrets there. If you were to know me, I'm your average loving mom, instilled morals and rules for my teenage daughter. When her behavior was good, she would know, and when it was bad, she would know too. Since he was on the same page with me through her child rearing, I had to step up to the plate like a sing. Oh, since he wasn't on the same page with me through her child rearing, I had to step up to the plate like a single parent. He thought only of himself, 3 times a week with friends, 2 times a year vacationing with his friends. Just a selfish man. I let him do all these things because I wanted him to be on his own and wanted the same in return. However, I was always home, never taking vacations other than with him. I stayed home and raised my daughter. During this time, I put my foot down and told her lights out at 11 p.m. She fussed and called me a bitch the first time ever. I guess she knew she could get away with it since all my husband did was put me down, call me fat cow whale. That was 6 years ago. That's when his abuse started. Just so you know, I was not fat by any means, but he called me a 200-pound whale when I was only 140 pounds. Well, getting back to where I put my foot down, I told her to give me her phone and get to bed. I grabbed it from her not knowing it was plugged in with the cord. So I took her phone from her after her calling me a bitch, and the cord scratched her nose. She cried murder. My husband called the cops. I was in jail for 2 days. We had a 1 month separation. I went back hoping things would work out, but in fact, I was on autopilot the whole time. I gained so much weight. I hated myself and started my self-pity of me. I battered myself into my head so much, even believing I abused my daughter. I know different now. It was him who called me the worst mother, and the mother and other mothers are better than me. All this is so hard to describe in writing, but I'll keep it short. Now that I lived half a century, I'm doing my life review, and I know I've been good to him, tending to his needs, cooking, cleaning, never getting anything out of my hard labor. A wife is supposed to be loved, not criticized. The last blow was when he left the house and told me if I don't get checked into a mental institution, he's going to the lawyers for a divorce. I told him to go to his fucking lawyer and stay the fuck away from me. It was the worst month of my life. He told my brother the same. I tried to get my brother on. He tried to get my brother on his side. My brother, the gentleman that he is, asked me if I'm happy with him. I told him his ultimatum, and he was shocked. And it was a shock to me after 24 years, and how I can be happy with someone who belittles me daily, tells me I'm a loser, tells me he's the only one bringing home the bacon. How other women would love to be in my shoes. Sorry, sorry for the French. How the fuck can I be happy with a loser that stands on his own 2 feet after I made him so much money? It's really nice. It's really a nice person, but once you come, I'm really a nice person, but once you cross me, watch out. Suffice it to say, it's been 2 months without him. I know the law and he needs to I know the law and he needs to eat crow because I will get half of what he's worked for all these years. Exactly. And that was going to be my point in all this, is that you're going to have the last laugh. You were there when the company started. You worked for the company. The company's half yours. It's half your company. And I was going to try to save that to the end. But I was the first, I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. That company's half yours. And I hope you realize one thing that's been going on the entire time in your marriage that you haven't acknowledged yet, or I hope you will. This dude's cheating on you. He's been cheating on you, and he's always been cheating on you. 3 nights out with the friends, vacations with friends, while he's cheating on you. And then when the fat thing started, he's been setting you up for a divorce for a while. He has been trying to drive you into a mental institution for a while, any way he can. Because don't think he doesn't realize you can get half that business. That's what all the gaslighting is about. I'm working with a lawyer. I'm not crazy like he says, but he's broken me, Ollie. He's really gotten down to my core. His sister phones me in a rage, telling me I will never do better than him. She told me I have no friends and I will be alone the rest of my life. It's so creepy the way she says alone, because she's been alone for the last 25 years. He came back home this week claiming that it is still his house even though he left. He was tired of the hotel scenery. He's sleeping in a different room and I avoid him at all costs. The last time we talked, he made promises and told me he was wrong in a way that we can still save the marriage. Oh, no, no, no. He wants to save his business. He wants to save his business. I still have feelings, not love, that he destroyed that by calling cops and deserting me a few months ago. I know what I need to do, but I would really value your opinion. My daughter sides with him, but I can handle her. She is now 20, and I told her to live the rest of, and I told her to live her life the fullest she can, and that I would do the same. I made mistakes, but I never deserved this. I would never walk out at him and tell him he needs psycho help, which he does because his whole family is effing crazy. Mine too, but to a degree. In my family, we express our opinions in anger. His family, they talk behind everyone's back and nothing gets resolved. They're all crazy. I could tell you stories about them. I thought he escaped the craziness, but I guess I was wrong. I would want to know. I would want to know. What I want to know is, should I give this guy another try or run? I hope I can hear your reply tonight. It's been 5 days of hell under the same roof of this narc. Bless you. No, don't give him another try. Throw him out of the house. You should have never let him back in the house. He's just trying to save his business. He's going to have to give you half the business, probably alimony, okay, retirement, all of that. That's all this is about. That's all this is about. It blew up in his face. And as far as your fucking daughter goes, fuck her. Fuck her. Honestly. She's old enough to have a cell phone, 20 years old, and she does that. I'd throw her ass right the hell out if she's not out already. Okay? Until she wants to admit in full, in public, what really happened and what's going on. No relationship with her. No money, no calls, no anything. If you're paying anything for her, stop. I'm sure daddy's going to pay for it anyway, because he needs her as a flying monkey. Do not let him manipulate you. If he moved out, he was out. You could have kept him out. You should have changed the locks. You should have changed the locks the second he went to the hotel. And that would have been it. That would have been it. Because he had moved out. Now he's back in. I don't know. You're going to have to deal with that with your lawyer. You're going to have to deal with that with your lawyer. Don't do anything with him, for him, other than to ask him, what's the company worth? You can have a better life without him and your daughter right now. Okay, you won't be necessarily financially strapped. You'll probably have to, since your daughter is 20, you'll be forced not only to split the proceeds of his business, but to sell the house and split the proceeds of the house. As a matter of fact, if you already filed, you should file for legal separation as well and file for a support order. You can start getting support before the divorce is official, and it's something you should talk to your lawyer about. And as far as taking calls from any of his family members, you need to make it clear to all of them. Listen, bitch, and this is what you say to the next time one of his family members calls, especially, listen, bitch, don't call me. Not interested, okay? Not interested. I'm getting what I've earned in 24 years. Fuck off. You call me again, I'm calling the cops. This is not, and this thing with the daughter and the scrap. This is exactly why I left. I had to leave New Jersey, because these are the things that can happen to you. And you were still married to him. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your story. Please heed my advice. Work with your lawyer. Talk to your lawyer about getting him out of the house somehow, or getting yourself out of the house, and filing for a support order. Because you're not working, you gave up your career after you started his. You'll get a support order, a pretty good one. You might have to move out, or pay for an apartment, or whatever. And I'm not the one to say use the courts to your advantage, but when dealing with narcissists in this case, especially after what happened with your daughter, you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them anything. You got to do what's best for yourself. So thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any advice or opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I'll have the video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.